Devin Haney says he the boogeyman at lightweight. Teofimo don't like it. And the two exchange words via Twitter, fingers, social media. Let me go talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, before I get into the video, cop the ESPN Plus bundle using my link, and it does support the channel. Help me to keep driving, the movement, and, just help support our growth. The ESPN Plus bundle includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, all three apps. $12.99 a month. I personally have all three. I've been using it. Might help you get through this quarantine. And again, it does help the channel in a tremendous, phenomenal way. Devin Haney, he is back working, coming off a shoulder surgery and injury. Let's see. Okay. Okay, Dev. So he definitely looks like he's back from his shoulder injury and surgery, and he looks fast as hell, stuff like that. But Devin Haney says, when you, quote, so-called don't fight nobody, it's one thing if nobody wants to fight you. That's another thing. I will bet 7 figures on myself against anybody in my division, hashtag the boogeyman. Now, I don't know if Teofimo said anything about Devin recently, called him, said he so-called don't want to fight no one. I don't know. But what I do know is, Teofimo has responded to this tweet, So it says, when you so-called don't fight nobody, that's one thing. If nobody wants to fight you, that's another thing. And Teofimo, he clapped back, and he wasn't liking that statement, probably because he said he's the best in division and he'll bet on himself. Teofimo says, shut the fuck up, kid. Damn, you annoying. Point blank period, straight to the point, out of nowhere. A big mouth is always annoying. He quick to talk about Garcia, but won't say nothing to Teo. I'm just reading what the fans are saying. Oh, the fan pulled up a chair. I like that. It's funny. Is Teo want to smoke? Yes, tell him, Teo. Look at these are groupie fans and stuff jumping in. About time, bro. Knock this fool out. He think he all that. Oh, wow. See, this is like groupie stuff. I got to get out of the comment section. Because it don't sound like it's about boxing. It sounds like it's like personal disdain and stuff. It's not about seeing the best fights and whatnot. So anyway, Devin Haney, he responded already to Teofimo. And he said, woo, I can't wait for this quarantine to be over so you can hurry up and get scraped by Lomachenko and disappear like you will. So in Devin Haney, I don't know if he's saying this to taunt him or maybe he really believes it. He said Lomachenko going to scrape him. Wow. Things are heating up in the lightweight division. Now, this is what I love about boxing. You can have a division like lightweight, and you look at, let's say, when Adrian Broner, AB, algebra books, when Broner was in 135, his first fight there was Antonio DeMarco, who was a somebody in the division, held a win over Jorge Linares, and also knocked out John Molina in 1 round, and was a champion. Broner chopped him up. That's actually one of my favorite. That is my favorite. I'll take that back. That's my favorite Broner performance. Broner was all business there. He had a lot of power at 135 and 130. And, he just looked real well in that fight and chopped his man up. Great combination punches, got the stoppage. So that was my favorite Broner performance. And the reason I brought up Broner is because at that time, after he did the best thing you could do at that current time in the division, there weren't bountiful names at 35 when Broner was there that he really could have faced. He wanted to fight Ricky Burns, but Ricky Burns, look it up, ducked him and didn't want no smoke, with Broner at the time. So he fought Gavin Reese, and then he decided to move up and fight Paulie Malignaggi, which turned out to be maybe a tougher fight than he expected, but a very good build-up two trash talkers and whatnot. And then he fought Maidana, you know, and the rest is history, you know, Broner's career. So when Broner was at 35, after he beat DeMarco so easily, there really wasn't no work for him because Ricky Burns was about the only other named guy at the time, and he didn't want no fade. He didn't want no smoke with Broner. So he moved up. He did the natural thing, you know, to move up, give your body a rest, and, you know, chase bigger paychecks, which is what he did, and became a champion. People don't give Broner credit, but Broner, 4-division champion by the age of 24. You know, they always talk about Broner's shortcomings, but you got to give him credit for that. 24 years old, and he was a 4-division champ. People celebrate Mikey Garcia for being a 4-division champ because his 5th division would have been Spence for a title, but he came up way short and lost every round of that fight, you know, and we give credit to that for him moving up and moving up. And Broner did the same thing by age 24. You see what I'm saying? He has the same amount of defenses in divisions as Mikey Garcia. So 4-division champ, that's not easy because, you know, even Lomachenko, I'm using him because Devin Haney mentioned him versus Teo. I don't see Lomachenko having success at 140 or 147 because all of his fights at 35 are tougher. You see what I'm saying? I will say I do disagree with Devin Haney. I think Teofimo can win versus Lomachenko. So I don't know if Devin Haney believes that Teofimo is going to get scraped by Lomachenko, but if he really does, then I disagree with him there because I do think Teofimo has a very good chance of beating Lomachenko. In fact, I would favor Teofimo to beat Lomachenko. If the fight does go on after the pandemic, then I'll get more into it. It's not like undermining Lomachenko. I know what Lomachenko's good at, but it's just it's a good fight. It's a true fight. It's not going to be easy. Now, Teofimo did do a interview with ESPN, his home network, said he's weighing 160. He got to get his weight down, and, you know, things have to go right. It's not a give me to beat Lomachenko. You see what I'm saying? Lomachenko has showed discipline, and he's a 2-time gold medalist, etc. Good angles, a good speed, and, you know, he's confident because he's been winning since the Salido fight. So I'm not saying it's going to be a gimme fight, but I think Teofimo can win. Devin Haney saying, I can't wait for this Rona quarantine to be over so I could watch you get scraped by Loma and disappear. I don't know. I don't know if Teo disappears, you know, even if he were to lose, just because if he loses, then you can say, oh, I lost to a great fighter who's a 2-time gold medalist. But again, I just can't wait for this to end too so we can start seeing some of these fights. I will say I like this about Devin Haney and really all the young dudes in that division right now. They just seem hungry. Devin Haney's not new to this. He just said it. Look, been doing this. You know, he ain't new to this. He been in the gym since, you know, before puberty. So I can understand why he's hungry. You know, even guys like Ryan Garcia, they've been in the game for a while. You know, Devin Haney's been making money. So he's hungry. And I do think that he's avoided. I do think Lomachenko being the franchise champion, that was BS. And that was clearly to not fight a tough mandatory, not only to not fight Devin Haney, but to not fight Devin Haney, who is not linked to Top Rank. Top Rank wanted to sign Devin Haney, but, you know, he ended up signing with Eddie Hearn and Rematch Room. So it's not just the fact that Lomachenko could lose to Devin Haney, which is absolutely a possibility. Young, hungry kid, amateur experience, you know, bigger than Lomachenko, I would imagine. Speed, you know, a thinker. You have to discourage him. He hasn't been discouraged yet. These young kids that are undefeated, you got to tell them no, you know, and that's how all fighters should be. You know, you look at, let's say, Fernando Vargas. He was young, and they see the thing with Fernando Vargas is he probably got thrown into the tougher fights too soon. You know what I'm saying? Like the Felix Tito Trinidad and stuff, and they kept moving him, you know, and then the rest was history, De La Hoya's and stuff like that. But the way the fighter mentality, they just want the work, you know, they don't care. They just ready for the smoke. You know, they ready for the smoke. So Devin Haney, as I mentioned, as you see in this picture, Devin Haney already achieved money for years now, you know, since he was a kid. So that's nothing new to him. So he's trying to achieve greatness. So I like that about this new pack of fighters, you know, whether my thing is this, I don't know what fully all I can say is I've seen Devin Haney spar live, and he was 15, 16, and he was a beast back then. And I've watched his journey, and I've kept up with him interview with him. You know, they're from the Bay. I'm from the Bay. So, you know, I like to see him do well. So I've known about Devin Haney for quite some time because we have a lot of mutual people we deal with, stuff like that. But I do like this about this younger generation, the guys that are under 25. It's not a bunch of buddy friendships and stuff. You see Teofimo and Devin Haney going at it. They've sparred in the past, and there's different accounts of what happened. You guys could research it. I made videos about that. But it seems like there's beef, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not trying to just be, oh, I grew up with this guy, or we were in the nationals and, you know, amateurs together, so I would never fight him. All of them. You hear Devin Haney talk about fighting Ryan Garcia. You hear Ryan Garcia talk about fighting Devin Haney. You know, I never really hear Ryan Garcia Teofimo. I think that's a crazy fight too. That's a real good fight. You know, I never see their names linked. I always see like Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, or Devin Haney needs to fight this and that. You know, I never really see Ryan Garcia Teofimo. I do like that fight stylistically. But it's just a lot of action, people. What can I say? It's just a lot of action. And I do like the fact that they all seem like some go-getters. Like, it's hard to tell because, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say it like this. I do like the fact that the fighters these young fighters seem like hungry. They want to prove themselves. They want to be the next generation. That's commendable. The only downside is politics. That's what it always boils down to. The landscape of boxing, sides of the street, different politics, and, you know, the powers that be and all that kind of stuff. Those are the types of things where you never know. So no matter how much Ryan Garcia wants to fight Tank Davis, no matter how much Devin Haney wants to fight Lomachenko, the politics and the business have to make sense for the people who are in charge, the networks, the promoters and stuff. The risk for them, not the fighters, just the fighters, but the risk for them has to make enough sense, because if it don't make enough sense, then guess what? They're not going to make the fight. And that's just what we've seen from boxing. So that's the latest with Teofimo and Devin Haney. I don't know if we'll get to see them fight anytime soon, because I think the next order of business is Teofimo Lomachenko. But who knows, man? With this Rona, this is a global situation. It's unprecedented. It's unplanned, and nobody could predict this. So hopefully the light at the end of the tunnel is going forward. Hopefully boxing stops playing around, because you never know. Life is short. You know, you never know when things are going to come about, like this pandemic that nobody could have planned for. And hopefully they just start getting active and making the fights that the fans are requesting, that they want to pay for and want to see, because we the fans. Like I said, new media, we control the narrative. You know, we're the ones that put the dollars in the pockets. We buy the T-shirts and pay-per-views and merchandise. We get the merch and all this stuff. So you got to start giving us what we want. Pensacola, we talk tonight. But Devin Haney says he's a boogeyman. I do agree. I do think that Devin Haney, his name, it rings bells. People all know who Devin Haney is. We've known about him for a while, like you see in these pictures. And if you ever see his crib or behind the scene, he got money. So it's not like, oh, who's he? Nobody knows him. He ain't got no money. You can't say that type of stuff. You can't say the kid don't have skills. You can't say he's not in shape, you know. And he should be getting the WBC belt back, but the WBC is kind of playing with Devin Haney. I did a video about that. Check that on the channel. So I do think he's the boogeyman, because his name is not really being mentioned, and he has all the boxes checked off. Skills, check. Money, check. Do fans know who he is? Check. Is he connected? Yes, check. You know, him and his dad have a great relationship, you know, with the different Mayweather gyms and Roy Jones and all this stuff. They've been around, you know. I've seen pictures with Bob Arum and Devin Haney. So Eddie Hearn's managing him right now. So he has good relationships and stuff that I know about. Yet and still, people are acting like he doesn't exist, especially if he gets that belt back from the WBC, which he should, because the Rona knocked out the fight with Luke Campbell and Javier Fortuna. So hopefully we get Devin, and then they just reinstate Javier Fortuna as the mandatory. And, you know, Luke Campbell, I would feel bad that he, got his hopes up, but he's already had 2 title opportunities and he came up mad short. He lost. He fought Jorge Linares, got dropped. He fought Lomachenko, hurt him, but then Lomachenko hurt him and almost stopped him, or he hurt him good, to the point, and he knocked him down, I believe. So, I'm not really worried about Luke Campbell. He, it is what it is. He's had opportunities. Javier Fortuna hasn't been as fortunate, and that's a good fight. It's a scrappy fight. It'll show Devin's IQ, and I like it. And he's the #1 mandatory, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, let's get it. I'm ready. But let me know what you guys think of Teofimo and the comments, the back and forth banter. Teofimo says, "Shut the F up." Devin Haney said Lomachenko's going to scrap him. What do you believe in? What side do you believe in? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new, consider subscribing. I drop daily content. I cover fights when we don't have pandemics. And, I got a lot of content coming for y'all. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.